Did you know this is National Prevention Week? What does that mean? Well, Jason Tanner, Associate Director of Children's Outpatient Alta Point Health System, is here to tell us. So what does that mean?
Well, this time of the year, we know statistically that substance abuse in youth and mental health and suicide rates go up. April, May, June, and July, it's clustered around proms, graduation, and those type of events, vacation. So it's time for us to recognize those issues and bring them to the forefront in the community.
So as far as the biggest challenges kids, teenagers are facing right now, what would you say?
Well, I think substance abuse. We know that there's two issues that confront them. One is availability, and a lot of times that availability for them to get substance abuse is in the home. And then the second issue is perception. Many kids perceive that it's safe and there's no consequences to it. Also, we know from research that's been done that many parents perceive that there's not a great risk to their children, nor are their children really doing it. So that's a huge risk. It puts them right in the firing line to use.
We've heard a lot about kids using drugs, alcohol, cigarettes. Spice is what's really big right now. What can you tell us about kids, teenagers using spice?
Well, I think there's a misperception in our teens that spice is not a drug. It's not illegal, so they think it's safe. But we know that it has huge consequences. In fact, maybe greater medical consequences than other street drugs.
And it affects them, it can affect them long term, as other drugs can.
Right.
This one, though, we don't even know because the mixture keeps changing. We don't know some of the effects.
That's correct. And we see on the treatment side a number of people that have longer lasting effects, psychosis, thoughts of suicide when they use. And you know, most of our teens don't understand that. It's packaged to look safe and look fun. So they think, why not try it? I won't get in trouble if I try it. But they do medically. And they do mental health wise. With
the little cartoons on the front,
right,
Scooby-Doo, their friends are doing it. In your opinion, what is it that makes teenagers, kids, pick up the drugs, pick up that first cigarette, take that first sip of alcohol?
Right. You know, like I said before, I think youth don't perceive the risk. They think there's no consequences to it. And then I think there's a lot of mixed messages in the community that say, hey, it's okay to do it, you're young, nothing will happen. But what we like to do is expose them to the idea there is risk and get their parents to support that message year-round, not just on National Prevention Week.
I think a lot of times parents feel like they're no match when it comes to peer pressure and talking to their kids. What would you say is the best way for parents to talk? Because there is a fine line when it comes to, do I need to be a friend or do I need to be an authoritative figure? What should parents do?
Well, it's not good for a parent to lecture. You know, that turns the youth off. But we believe that parents should have year-round discussions about the risk. They should set limits. You know, they should say, we don't want you to do this. We don't want bad things to happen to you. I think the other thing is to reduce that availability. We know that many of the alcohol products and drugs that kids use, they get right out of the home. And so if they can eliminate those or secure those, they reduce the chances that the kids get involved.
Now, this is National Prevention Week, but of course we want this to be something that continues throughout the year. Now, today, specifically, National Suicide Prevention Day, and tomorrow the focus is promotion of mental health. So how can we get involved here in our community? What can we do?
Well, in Baldwin County, we formed the Community Alliance 9 years ago. We have 29 agencies that participate and 53 people. We're beginning to develop youth leadership. The messages that they come from our youth are more well received, and we encourage parents to be involved. So we would like them to get involved in our organization, and then also just have those daily discussions with their kids about the risk and about they want to keep their kids safe. You know, we know that the family is so important to keeping our kids safe and growing up.
So the main points you mentioned, don't lecture, let it be something you talk daily about,
right.
And not only for the parents, but for all of us. The community needs to get involved.
That's correct, and the Alliance is trying to increase that community message that we're concerned and we want them to refuse those attempts and then we want to encourage the parents to do that at home as well.
Some wonderful information. So National Prevention Week, again, meant to help educate young people about cigarettes, drugs, alcohol. So start a conversation with your child, your younger brother or sister, maybe your friend's child. You may not think you can make a difference, but kids really do look up to us. Teens look up to us. So you may be that one person who can make a difference in a child's life. You may not even know it. So let's start talking. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in. Some really valuable information this morning.